Saturday morning now. Nice and chilly, still out here in the shop. I'm happy to report I finally got my starter back. So it's got the new drive in it. He sandblasted this housing in his test machine. He couldn't get a good ground on it, so that should help it spin better too. And yeah, hopefully we can fire it up now. After I dropped the starter off, I found this in my magical parts bin over there, so I still want to go through that and show it to you. This drive feels much better, but the teeth are super worn on it, so I don't know if that would have been any better. But got a brand new made in USA starter drive. I was pretty happy to see that. I don't know if you guys can see that when I picked this up. So he cleaned it up, kind of went through everything, put the new drive in with a new bronze bushing, and painted it for me. Took about 48 hours to get it back because he did have to order a part, but charged me $40 for everything, so I didn't think that was too bad. So let's get this in and see if she'll crank over. When I got this Jeep, it had a little side post battery in it, which I'm not a fan of. Once it's all said and done, I'll make good heavy cables, but I just grabbed these chintzy Napa terminals, but a decent battery. I put coolant in it last night and it's still holding. It wasn't completely empty, but it didn't have much in it, so it's glad to see that this morning. Oil is a little low, but it looks pretty good. So just got some cheapo 30 weight to top it off. Pulled the carburetor apart and cleaned it. It actually looked really good. I was worried because the fuel tank's pretty crusty, but there was nothing in it, just some residue. So I cleaned that out. Cleaned out the fuel pump and the sediment bowl. And I'm not going to run the line to the tank because, like I said, I think that needs replaced. But I'm just going to run this 1/4 inch line into a fuel can, leaving this off for now to get it started. I'll have to spray some gas in there. New plugs. All the valves that I could see were moving up and down. I was going to check the points, but this has an electronic distributor already, and the oil in the air cleaner looked really good, so I'm not touching that. Once we get it running, I'll put the intake tube back on. I also managed to, I closed it up now. I got the reservoir for the brakes open. You can see I made a mess down there. Got all the bleeders but one open and got fluid moving, and I think we have enough brakes to run it around the yard. So stand by, I'll put the starter in and we'll try to fire it up. Starter is in. Got my cables rigged up. I don't know much about the wiring otherwise. I got the key on and there's no smoke flying, so let's hit it and see what it does. I have not messed with it at all yet, so you're learning with me. Alright, let's see if we can get a little rumble out of it. Ooh, that's exciting. Good sign. All right, so it's got spark. I heard a little rumble. Hopefully we got a little oil pressure. I'm going to unhook this line at the carburetor and put this in my gas can and let it pump a little bit of that fuel out in case there's any dirty fuel in there. And then I'll just get it running by spraying fuel in the carburetor. And if that works, we'll hook the fuel line back up and let it run. So I think that's a good sign. It didn't sound too bad. So I got my little gas bottle here. Got this tank hooked up. So I'm gonna try to get to run off this for a while with this disconnected. So it'll pump gas out of there if the fuel pump works. So if we see fuel coming out, hopefully any dirt that's in that line will flush out. Then we can hook this up and let it run on its own. Oh, we got fuel pumping. Kind of thought it would start there, but maybe I sprayed too much. But I'm excited to see that fuel coming out. I'll throw something over that so it's not pumping all over the firewall. I'm gonna wait a minute, let this gas all evaporate, and I'll get my fire extinguisher out just in case, and we'll try it from there. Alright, let's see if we can get it running off of the actual carburetor and the fuel in this can. Got a bunch of fuel running out. Looks like we mega flooded it. It looks like it's coming out of the bottom of the intake. So let me get a light under here and see what's going on. Yeah, my guess is the needle is, like the float is stuck open and it just pumped a whole bunch of fuel. But I'm not really sure where it's coming out of. So stay tuned, more diagnostics. All right, well I've got it running. It's got good oil pressure, it's up to temperature, nothing's leaking. It starts right up, but doesn't want to come up off an idle. So I think I've got a circuit in the carburetor somewhere that's plugged with something, but so far so good. We'll fire it up here for you.